All right, what is going on, Swoopers? On this Saturday late afternoon, we have a super special guest who's kind enough to give us his time. Taylor Adams, thank you so much for joining me and everyone on board at the moment.
Hey, Luke, no worries at all. Welcome, guys. Thanks for having me.
So, guys, it's going to be pretty simple. You can I'll post the link where you can jump on and have a chat. Computer. So this is the link where you can log in, have a chat. We'll answer questions from the chat as well. You guys know the process if you've watched my Squawk with Swoop sort of stuff after the game. So it's going to be like that. Anyway, we got a couple of guys lined up. I'll get Lockie in first. Let's go. Lockie, can you hear us, mate?
Yeah, loud and clear, mate. How are
you? Yeah, good, mate. But you don't want to talk to me, so here's Taylor.
Oh, no, that. Jeez. G'day, Tay. How are you, mate? Nice to meet you.
Hey, mate. You too, Lockie.
Yeah, mate. Thanks for coming on. It's pretty awesome. I was first time when we spoke to Liquor as well, and I said similar type of thing to him. It's just an awesome opportunity, mate, like to be able to speak to you guys. And obviously with, the COVID stuff, it's been the interaction, hasn't been as much as what we'd like probably. But, yeah, thanks heaps for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
No, my pleasure.
I just wanted to ask you, mate, like, obviously, we don't get as much of a look into what's going on with the boys and whatnot. As someone who's played, like, a lot of club footy, I know how much the boys love to get around each other. With the tough times, I could guess you say we've had this year, like, what's the vibe like amongst the boys? Especially going into the next year. How's everyone feeling? Like, is everyone up and about, looking forward to it?
Yeah, we certainly are. Yeah, I think there's been a real positive energy over the last, I guess, sort of when Bucks and Banger did the handover. It was a bit of a line in the sand moment, and a bit of a fresh start for the playing group, but also the coaching group. So, new voices, some fresh ideas. It was a good opportunity for us just to restart. And yeah, like most footy clubs, when you win, everything's really fun and comes really easy. When you lose, it's obviously not as fun. And we know that you guys ride the highs and the lows with us. But we're really optimistic week to week. We've been in most matches throughout the year. We've seen some really great young talent come through. Played, I think, was it 7 or 8 debutants this year? 6 debutants?
Yeah, 9. I think we're up to 9
is
now,
it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, because you're throwing Joe Rantal on and a couple of guys, Trent Bianco, who were here last year. So, it's been certainly, obviously, the year hasn't gone to plan, but there's been a lot of positives that we'll take out of it. We're really optimistic about, not only next year, but the last couple of games of the season. And, we're playing decent footy. Over the last month, we've been pretty good. So looking forward to what next year holds for us. But first and foremost, looking forward to closing these games out.
Absolutely, mate. And I think the effort, Luke and I speak, every week, most weeks after the game. And the effort, especially the last couple of weeks, has been fantastic from you guys. It's been so good to watch. Having yourself back especially has been unreal. Just the stuff that you do. It's pretty inspirational, I can imagine, for the younger guys. But, just seeing them as well go out and, do their thing. Like I've been saying to Luke, when a young guy has a breakout game, if we win or lose, I'm not really upset about it because, you see something that you can look forward to. So, yeah, like it's been a weird year to be a supporter. Definitely a weird year, especially after the last couple. But there's definitely stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. We get a real kick out of the young guys, doing well. So, yeah, we as I said, the year hasn't gone the way that we expected it to go, in January, February. But as I said, there's been many positives that have come out of the season, and those young guys bring great energy and enthusiasm and a willingness to learn and listen and get better. And they're going to make our football club a much better place to be. And hopefully next year we're winning more games.
That's it. All right, Lukey, I'm happy to head off. But Tay, just wanted to say,
thanks, Lukey.
Probably my next skipper, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. So take it easy, mate. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Thanks, Lukey.
Cheers.
All right, we've got to get on Ariel. Thumbs up if you're ready to go. I can see you in chat. Beautiful. All right.
Hi,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So my question is, what do you do before a game to prepare?
Nothing in particular, really. I used to be pretty OCD as a younger player, making sure that I ate the same foods and was probably overhydrated and slept 12 hours before the game. But now I'm pretty relaxed. I feel like most of the work's done throughout the week at the football club, so making sure that I'm able to get all the training in that I need to get done, and topping up with physio and extra sessions that I feel like I need throughout the season to try to keep some fitness there. But I'm actually really relaxed before games now. I think that just comes with a bit of experience and being through the process so many times. So I don't have any really weird quirks or superstitions. Kind of just rock up to the football club before we play at the MCG, and there's a group of us that walk over. So I usually jump in the ice bath and the hot pool and do a couple of contrasts there, and then we just sort of float over and try to keep everything as normal as possible until maybe 15, 20 minutes before we run out, and that's when the energy really builds, in the change rooms. And I feel like the work is done before you get to the ground.
Yeah, and my other question was, how's it been having all these new young guys come in to the club this past season?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, it's something that we haven't experienced at our football club for some time. We've had 2 or 3 draftees, probably on average, come in and have an impact or play games. And Luke was saying before, we've had 9 debutants. So a lot of our young talent have been given the opportunity to play senior football this year, and they just bring a great energy, enthusiasm, and a willingness to learn and get better. And it's been awesome to team up with those guys. They're going to be the future of our football club. They're going to be around for a long time, and there's a real great bunch of talent there. So looking forward to seeing how that plays out the next couple of years.
Yeah, so I'll leave it there. Hopefully we win tomorrow, but yeah, have a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
Ariel. Cheers. Bye. All right, we're going to get Cav. Cav, thumbs up, man, if you're ready to go, dude. Beautiful.
Hey Taylor.
Hey, Cav, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for hopping on again. Thanks for taking time out of your day to hop on.
Yeah, all right, mate. No worries.
Yeah. So my question was, how's it been after Box hasn't been coached? How's the team mood been after Box? It's
it's been good. It was obviously a challenging period there for clearly a couple of weeks. It was just before the bye, so that, especially that day, and the couple of days that followed, there was a lot of rumours and innuendo floating around the media and external news. So players, I guess, would have had speculations that something was potentially going to happen at some point this season. For mine, I didn't realise that it was going to happen that soon. So I was really sad that Nath left, and I built a great relationship with him, and a lot of my development as a player to some of the lessons that he taught me and the time and effort that he put into our playing group. He took us to a grand final, and we're a kick away from winning it. So the mood since he's left has been one of optimism. We've obviously been taken over by a guy that we know really well, in Robert Harvey, who's been at the football club for almost 10 years now. So a few tweaks here and there in terms of our game style, but most of it's been pretty similar, mate, to be completely honest. New voices, probably Banger doesn't talk as much as what Bucks did. He's a man of very few words, but he's got some golden nuggets that he likes to spit out at times. And the boys love his sense of humour and the way that he's taken hold of this group. So it's been the back end of the year has been really good. Obviously, I wasn't playing much footy in the front half of the year, so it's been on a personal note, it's been a lot more enjoyable for me to be out there.
Yep. All right. How's it playing with the young players, the young ones? Because half our teams played below 50 games.
Similar to the answer before. It's really exciting. Yeah, we're just enjoying it, watching those guys develop and have an impact on the field. They've put a lot of work in our development team at the football club's done a great job with making sure that those guys are ready to go and once they get their opportunity at senior level. So just loving having them out there. It's been a real positive our year.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Gav. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Gav.
So just on that, we'll take a break for just a quick second. You were talking a lot about Buckley and Harvey and that transition and stuff like that. Bianca on the footy show the other day said you guys are kind of playing more instinctual football. Is that something that Harvey has really brought out in you guys, that sort of attacking through the corridor? Because we were seeing a lot of defensive, and we know defense sort of wins games, but now, it does feel very more instinctual and, up the guts and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're probably taking the game a little bit more in terms of our offense. Trying to score more. We've realised that teams the really good teams are kicking close to 100 points a game. So our goal all year has been to do that, and we've just had to tweak a few things in the second half of the year that sort of opened up our game style a little bit. But I think most of our scoring does come off the back of defense, and you'll find that happens with most teams. So our structure around defense hasn't changed too much, and that's always going to be our DNA. Seeing guys sort of express themselves with ball in hand has been exciting.
Yeah, perfect, man. We'll answer just a couple questions from the chat. I saw some before. Charlie says, "Is there a major rule change you and the team would love to see?"
To be completely honest, I don't think about it all that much. Obviously the rules do change basically on a yearly basis. The AFL are clearly trying to open up the game, and you guys and spectators want to see a higher scoring spectacle. So I'm all for that. The demands on players have certainly increased in terms of less rotations and going back to the full length games, which I've actually really enjoyed this year. I think the game, I know some people will disagree, but the game, I believe, is best suited for 30-minute quarters roughly. And I think the longer quarters go on, the more breakdowns you see in team defense and the higher scoring games will be. But no, nothing that really jumps out at me at the moment. It's a really tough game to officiate in terms of being an umpire. There's so much grey area. So if you can clean up that hole in the ball rule some way or somehow, then I'd be all for that. But I just feel like there's a little bit too much interpretation at times, especially with that rule.
Yeah. Beautiful. And final one before we go back into the people. Do you see Will Kelly as a forward or a backman long term, which is a point of contention between supporters at the moment?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look, he can probably play anywhere. He's a really great athlete. Will. He just needs to run at it. Obviously, you guys know his last couple of years have been heavily interrupted by injury, and he came back to the footy club at the end of last year, super fit and had put on a bit of size, and he moves as well as anyone. I think that given the players we've got down back, he probably suits our forward line more. That doesn't really answer your question if he's a back or forward player better, but yeah, I think if he does get back to play senior footy, I think it will be in front of the ball. I just want to see him have a run at it, to be honest.
100%.
Given the fact that the VFL haven't been playing much this year, he hasn't had much of a chance to showcase his stuff.
No, definitely. We're all going to have fingers crossed for an injury-free Will next year. All right, Nina, thumbs up if you're ready to go. Beautiful. All right.
Hey, Luke. Hi, Tay.
Hi, Nina. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you? Is it all right if I just ask a couple of questions, like more than 2 questions, Luke?
Are they going to be quick fire questions?
I'll try my best.
Yeah, go on. All right, no worries. Go. It's all good.
We're all talking about the young players because we are, of course, really excited. But what do you think do we need in addition to really get to finals quicker? Because we saw like Sydney, they made a quick turnaround. What do you think we need as a club?
To be completely honest, I don't think there's too much missing. we've added some young talent. There's probably a gap there. Our list maybe lacked a little bit of depth at the start of this year, but I think those young guys have shown that they can fill that void, and with the pre-season under their belt, they'll step up and become better again next year. So I don't think necessarily there's a massive hole in our list. I've liked seeing Jamie Elliott do his thing down forward, and I think he's going to be one of the best forwards in the competition next year. And our back line with Howie and Howie coming back without Darcy, you throw those two guys in the same back line and they look really dangerous. So I think we're well suited. We've got some small forwards that are coming through, Bo McCreary and Trent Bianco. So just another pre-season. A little bit more experience in our younger players will go a long way to making us a better team. And I think we're as we've shown this year, we're not that far off it. We'll close the gap on the finals teams from this year, hopefully, and make a pretty quick bounce back.
Of course. And how important is it for you as a leader of the club? How important is the culture there? Because, we, of course, again, the young kids coming in, how important is it for you as a leader to make them feel, comfortable and make them want to be at the club? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think absolutely. It's everything. I think at any organisation, the leader's job is to make someone feel comfortable so that they can get the best out of themselves. And I hope our young boys feel that way. And I think they do, given the impact they've had on our team this year. There's a fine line between making them feel comfortable and helping them understand how hard you have to work to become an elite AFL player. So no doubt those players are still on their journey to learn that. It's all about obviously leading from example and helping educate them in the least amount of time as possible. And our coaching staff do a great job with that. As I said before, our development program has been really strong this year, and we've seen great improvement from some of our younger players since the start of the year to now, and they're having more and more impact in our senior side. So it is a massive part of any football club, but as leaders, we definitely place a big focus on that.
Perfect. And just one more question. I promise I will make this quick. Kind of 2 for 1. So what does it mean for you to play for a club like Collingwood? Because, of course, we have such a massive history. What does it mean for you to put on the stripes every week? You don't need to go too deep if you don't want to. It's up to you.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's, I've been at Collingwood for a long time now, and I certainly feel like a one-club player. I know I played at the Giants for 2 years. It just feels like I've been fully embraced by Collingwood people and the organisation. I guess, for me, it's the proud history and the people who have gone before us, and the work that those people had to do to get our club in the position that we're in. And as a player, I just see it as my duty to get myself to a position where every weekend I can go out there and perform to my best ability and repay the faith that the club has shown in me. And I think that the whole team feels that way. So we want to taste success as much as you guys want to see success. And that's what makes our club such a great club. And hopefully we can see some success in the near future.
Perfect. Thank you so much for answering my questions today.
No worries, Nina.
Thanks, Swoop.
Thanks, Nina. Bye. I got a good question that came through in the chat from Will. He says, as an 18-year-old who struggled with injury the last few years and only really getting some consistency with his body, do you have any advice on the process of taking his game to a senior level?
Yeah, that's a good question. Obviously, it'd be nice to dig a little bit deeper into what he's gone through. But at a really high level, obviously and I found this out throughout my career where things don't go your way. There's always opportunities when you face setbacks, and injuries are a horrible part of our game. But as I said, there's always an opportunity to get better in one aspect or another whilst you're on the sidelines. And I think that being able to see that silver lining and find out what that is, especially at a young age, not being all consumed by what your body's allowing you to do, because at some point it will come good. at a professional level for us, we'll make sure that we attend all meetings so that we can learn about the football process and our game plan and our game style, without actually being out there on the track. As an 18-year-old, that's really, really important. You can educate yourself without actually being out on the field. Tipping into your weights, weaknesses that may be letting your body down, to make sure that you can get some continuity in your games and string a few games together, because essentially that's the best way to get better, to play as much footy as you possibly can. So that's probably a bit of a fluffy answer, but to answer that wholly, I'd have to probably know some more details.
No, perfect. No, hope that helps you out a little bit, Will. Kind of leading on to that, I just saw this question from Ella that I'm going to pop up now. Although I'm sure you've still got a little while left in you, do you have any interest in possibly coaching or working behind the scenes at a club in the future? Also, it was my 18th yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday, Ella. Happy 18th. I'm still working out what I want to do post-footy. Currently studying, and I'm involved in a couple of small businesses outside of footy. So I do love football, and I love being involved in a football club, and that's something that down the track, if I'm not completely sick of the game, then I could definitely see myself leaning towards coaching or development. So it's something that I'll tip some time into and just taste it and see if it's something that I really enjoy. But at the moment, I'm obviously fully committed to making the most of my career as a player. I don't want to stop playing anytime soon. I love the competition of going out there week on week and coming up against the best players in the competition and trying to beat them. So hopefully I've got 4 or 5 or 6 more years left in me.
Yeah. Oh, geez. We hope so too, mate. We hope so too. All right, we're going to get Asher on. Thumbs up if you're ready to go, mate. All right, let's go.
Tay, how many fingers am I holding up?
That's 4, Asher.
Yeah, blurred vision my ass. Go fuck up Hawthorn tomorrow.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
Well, no, on a more serious note, what do you look for in a quality coach?
What do I look for in a quality coach?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not looking for the coach at the moment, mate, so nothing.
He's not on the panel, Asher.
No.
I thought you could get an exclusive on Swoop, mate. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
I don't know who's going to be coaching this next year, mate. I'll leave that up to the big dogs, and I'll rock up the day 1 of pre-season and meet him, which would be good.
All right, Asher, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for that, mate.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, mate. All right, let's keep it down a little bit, hey? Jesus. All right, we're going to get Magpies Inc. on to kind of thumbs up if you're ready to go. I could double thumbs up. All right, let's go. Jesus.
To kind of what?
I kind of like just chill the vibe a little. Chill the vibe a little bit about that. Yeah.
Hey, Luke. Hey, Tay. Nice to meet you, mate.
Hey, mate. How are you?
Good, thanks. Firstly, Luke, just want to say thank you again for being a conduit. And Tay, thanks for jumping on with Luke as well. I have a couple of questions. I'll be quick. Just seeing as we're in lockdown, it's been a big topic over the last 2 years. How do you or the boys, like with the ad hoc kind of venue changes and we obviously can't keep up with everything, but how does that affect you guys much? Like, obviously you prepare in training and you prepare for the team you're playing and stuff, but with the uncertainty of tomorrow, like how does that affect you? Does it sort of sit on your shoulder?
It probably affects some players. For me, I kind of just wait for our updates to come through our team app and just roll with it, to be completely honest. I think we've learned over the last 18 months, as most people have, nothing's certain during a pandemic, and to be able to adapt is to roll with the punches and just get on with it. So this year we've actually been pretty lucky in terms of what we've had to do. I know the guys went over to Adelaide and they've done a Perth trip, I believe, which I think I missed out on. Yeah, I missed out on that. And they've done really well. So we're we're just learning to deal with it. Hopefully, this is the last we see of it in terms of seasons that are interrupted by COVID. We'd love to have the fans back at the ground for every game. That's one thing that you really miss as a player. It really isn't the same without having that atmosphere there. So fingers crossed for a COVID-free season next year.
Yeah, we all miss being there on a regular basis. I guess, and the other question, just on the back of you mentioned, going interstate or dirty pies, all that sort of thing. We tend to do well when we're underdogs in that sense. Like, we've won obviously the final last year, and then 3 pretty decent wins this year with the Melbourne, Richmond, and West Coast games, which we were favourite for any of them. And I know that we haven't won that many in total, but why do you think why do you think we kind of live for those games? And it's kind of historically something that Collingwood's done.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think this year you kind of have to separate this year and last year. Last year was a pretty special win, going over to Perth and getting that done. Obviously, having to quarantine for 7 days leading into the game and facing a team that were, they finished 5th and we finished 8th. So to come up against a team that was just outside the top 4 and were tipped to go really deep inside the finals we had a big challenge on our hands. And historically, West Coast have played really well against us and given us trouble in the past. So this year's been a little bit different. I think the injection of youth, going over to Adelaide and getting that done was just a great experience for our group. Again, that was a really tough circumstance. If I had to put my finger on one thing, I don't think I actually could, in terms of why we were able to rock up to those games and
yes, if you knew
the way we do.
You'd win every week.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly right. The thing I will say is we just wish it was a little bit more consistent.
We'll get there.
That's
we know you got there.
Yeah. And I think that's just part of the game. Teams ebb and flow. It isn't a perfectly straight line, even for the best teams. Everyone has hiccups, and the reason why teams finish at the top of the ladder is because they're able to still win those games when they don't perform that well. So that's our next challenge.
All right. Thank you so much, Luke, and nice to meet you, Tay.
No, thank you.
Go Pies tomorrow.
Yes, John in the chat asks, Tay, how have you handled media criticism of your game over the years, and what kind of things have you done to address it and improve as a player? Because we know that the media, run most of what happens with what we hear anyway, because we're not a part of the football club. So how do you and the club, I guess, sort of address that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I think you could probably throw in social media into the same circle as the media.
100%.
Yeah, as a younger player, again, I found it really difficult to not listen, to not take note of what people were saying about me and about my game and about our football club. I found it incredibly frustrating that people outside of the 4 walls would comment like they were on the inner sanctum. And then, I guess as I've matured and become more settled and more comfortable in my own skin as a player, I've learned to just ignore it and probably just not read it as much. I certainly don't take in as much information as I used to. I used to be a real footy head as a young kid, 21, 22, 23 years old. Used to read everything and probably try to use it as more of a motivation than anything. But I think deep down it affected me negatively, and I wasn't able to probably get the positive impact that I wanted from it. So made the decision to wipe it. And as I said, to be comfortable in your own skin is a really powerful thing, because I now know that the people that know me best as a player are the people at the organisation that see me day to day and see the work that I put in. And this goes for our whole list, but speaking from my perspective,
of course,
and listening to those people is really important, and ignoring the other people is also equally as important. So I understand that we're at a massive club now. I get it. I know when I don't play well. I've been around long enough now to know when I make a mistake or am not doing playing my best footy. So to double down on that would just be to compound the issue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's good. I think that's good advice for really anyone on social media, because we know how hard anonymous accounts can go, especially when they don't have a face or a full name. We've all copped it, and you guys would just cop it just as hard. And yeah, I think education around it is it can be a lot better, and social media accounts can do a lot better as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Great.
All right. Ashira says, what was your favorite moment or favorite game in your career?
Favorite game in my career would probably be the 2018 prelim final against Richmond. That's one that I certainly won't forget. There's been many great games that I've played in at Collingwood. Obviously, we get to play in so many big games. It's one of the great aspects about being a Collingwood player. So, but that 2018 grand final, obviously, from the season we had before in 17 to get to that point, knowing that we're going to be, I think there was 10 minutes or so to go, and we knew that we were going to be playing in the grand final a week later and I imagine probably for a lot of our younger supporters that weren't around or weren't able to remember 2010, 2011, that would probably be their favourite game as well. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, I think that's you could ask a lot of Collingwood supporters, and yeah, you're right, it would be their favourite game. All right, Jack B, thumbs up if you're ready to go, dude. Oh, 2 thumbs up. All right, super keen. All right. Yeah, beautiful, sweet.
So Taylor, after the Port Adelaide game, we saw you got a pretty hurtful message from a spectator. In general, how do you deal with hatred like that? And
I obviously made the decision to make it public. Look, to be completely honest, that sort of message doesn't really affect me. I know that person's probably either intoxicated or dealing with some of his own issues or her own issues. So I just think there needs to be more awareness around it. I think Luke made a really good point that these accounts that are anonymous, they shouldn't be. And I think that the social media companies need to make sure that anonymous accounts aren't allowed. They shouldn't be de-identified for this purpose. Because if it was sent to a younger player or a younger person in society, in general, and a message like that was read by someone who was having a really crappy day or a crappy month or was feeling really shit about themselves, that could tip them over the edge and put them in a space that you don't want anyone to experience. So I think we've just got to be really careful with what we say. Obviously, at the end of the day, as players and athletes, we're out there doing our best, and you've just got to understand that the players, it's just like you guys. We know we've got feelings. We have crappy days. We have crappy weeks. We have crappy months. Just to be really caring or to think carefully about what you are actually saying and how it may affect someone.
100%. And Taylor, you're skipper tomorrow, which is very exciting. Anything you can leak about what you're going to say in the pre-game speech?
No, there won't be anything that's Braveheart-like, mate. There's nothing that's going to get the job done. I think the boys are pretty clear on what we need to do tomorrow to get the Chockies over the Hawks. I'm really excited about it. Obviously, it's a great opportunity to be captain of an awesome footy club. So I thought Steele did a great job last week. He played exceptionally well. So hopefully I can replicate that.
And our last question, very quickly. Actually, surprised it hasn't been asked yet. But Nick Dacos, obviously huge target for us.
I was just about to ask.
What are your thoughts? And if we could land him, how huge would that be for the club?
Yeah, he's going to be a gun. Clearly, super talented and just a great kid. I haven't been following the draft story, but I dare say he'll be a top 2 or 3 pick. So hopefully we can land him. He's just a great kid, and very similar to Josh in terms of their skill level. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we have a double Dacos at the Pies next year.
That'd be huge. All right, thanks so much, Luke, for setting it up, and awesome to talk to you, Taylor. And thanks for everything.
Jack.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Jack. All right, Sean, ready to go, mate? Thumbs up. All right, Dennis, you ready to go? Thumbs up, man. Beautiful.
Yeah, hey guys, just to confirm you can hear and see me all right?
Yep.
Hey, Dennis.
Yep.
Hey mate. Firstly, thanks for organising, Luke. It's really awesome, and also that's a great
no worries,
T-shirt. I think I need to pick up one of those.
Oh, thank you. Collingwood shop.
Taylor, thanks for coming on, engaging the community. I think it's really awesome.
No worries,
I think this ties on to a question that someone asked before, one of those common questions, which was, you're probably, most players are pretty self-aware, and if you're not, others are going to tell you regardless. So, what is your personal self-talk for your strengths and weaknesses in the game? Like, you're an absolute gun getting the clearances and whatnot, but I'm sure you have other areas to sort of work on, as every player does. So, yeah, what's your self-talk, whether the game's going your way or not?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 key areas that I focus on most games, and then in addition to that, there's a couple of focuses depending on who we're playing or how my game is going week to week. So for me, if my work rate's high and I'm running well and getting to contests, I feel like I'm going to impact. Clearly we all make mistakes in the game. It's the players that can move on really quickly after like skill execution errors or drop marks or missed handballs or missed tackles that can have profound impact for long parts of games. And I feel like I've been able to do that for the last 3 or 4 years now. Just being able to block out any negative thoughts that I have and just get to the next contest and try to make an impact. And we actually do a lot of work on that as a team. Knowing what our triggers are in terms of getting ourselves back on task and making sure that if we can help a player that may be having a bit of a down patch throughout a game, that we can pick them up and try to get them on to the next contest and so that we don't lose them for too long during the game. So you do rely heavily on your teammates. Another way that I like to reset is just to get to the bench and catch a breath. Have a chat to the boys on the bench, and I've used Howie a lot in the last couple of years because he's been sitting behind in the second tier of the bench, and he's been a great sounding board for me. So just to reset, getting to the bench is always a nice way to do it.
Awesome, great response. Also adding on to the question or the comment that someone else said a couple of minutes ago, congrats on being captain tomorrow. Not just what you might bring tomorrow, but in the next, let's say, 2 years' time, I assume you might be up for the job. Is there anything you might try and bring or a different flavour than what Pendles might be bringing?
Oh, we're certainly different leaders. Scott's, we're different people. He's been a super leader of our football club, and whether or not his time's up as captain next year is completely up to him. I think the club will let him decide on that. He's been an awesome leader for our football club, and for me personally, just a great mentor. His strengths are probably my weaknesses in terms of his ability to stay calm in all situations and not be flustered. He's got great emotional intelligence, understands people, and that's something that I've worked on over the last 4 or 5 years. So, we're very, very different leaders. If I was to point out one thing, it's I dare say I'm probably more of a vocal, more demanding leader than Scott. So that's something that I'd have to be careful with. At the right time, it's really powerful to do that, but at the wrong time, it can be detrimental to individuals and the team.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to give a spray and sort of anger a couple of people, but I'm sure you do well. Also, just a sneaky last one. One of the younger kids, who might you think that might be a good leader in, let's say, 5 years' time?
Good question. They're all pretty quiet, to be honest, at the moment, which most players are in their first couple of years of the football club. I'm looking forward, and you guys haven't seen him play yet, but I'm looking forward to Reef Guinness getting out there and playing, and whether it's this year or early next year, I think he's going to be a star for our footy club, and he's got real leadership written all over him. So keep an eye out for him.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Beautiful. Thanks, Dennis. Right. Cheers, mate. I'll just screenshot this comment because I've just lost it in the chat. Nathan asks, outside of footy, what is your biggest accomplishment in your eyes?
It's a good question. Biggest accomplishment. Well, it depends on what you define as an accomplishment. Things that I'm trying to achieve at the moment. I'm currently doing an MBA, so Masters of Business Administration. So I'm about a third of the way through that, which has been good. You know, some of those subjects have been really challenging at uni, and at times I've thought just give it up. But been really really pleased with the way I've been able to stick at that.
Well, that's an accomplishment in itself.
Exactly right. The things I love about my life are just my family and my friends, and I've got some really great friends, and my family's been awesome, and we're super close. So don't know if that's an accomplishment, but they're the really important things to me at the moment. There's not too much that's stressing me out off the field necessarily. So I guess most of my accomplishments probably have been on field.
That's all right. Now that MBA and stuff, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. It's good that the club, and it's also the young kids get pushed to do that sort of stuff as well, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Beautiful. Mitch, you ready to go, man? Thumbs up. Beautiful. All right.
G'day, Luke. G'day, Tate. It's pretty cool you've set this up. My question was, what is your go-to meal before a game, or like, do you do anything? I think Pendle said he used to go shoot some hoops before a game. Do you have anything like that?
Not really, other than taking my dogs for a walk. I mentioned it earlier. I don't have a real particular routine. In terms of what I eat before a game, I try to have a carb, but not too fast. Talking with my dogs, they're probably just trying to barge in now. I'm actually not too fussed about what I eat. Just trying to keep it, relatively healthy. Just a morning walk with the dogs and a bit of a stretch, mate. I'm pretty relaxed game day.
Yeah, cool. That's me done. I'll let someone else jump
awesome.
in now.
Thanks Mitch.
Mitch.
All right, thanks for having me on, lads.
See ya. Brayden, you ready to go, mate? Beautiful.
All right. Hi, Tay. Hi, Luke. Thanks for setting this up. I live in Canberra, so don't get this opportunity much.
Hey, Brayden.
Just want to know, what does it mean to you to captain the mighty Collingwood tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm super proud. There's obviously been some awesome people that have had that opportunity to do that before me, and it's just a great honour. Looking forward to it, a great experience. And hopefully we can come away with a win tomorrow. That would be nice.
All right, cool. Thanks for answering my question, man. It means a lot to me.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure. See ya.
Thanks, Brady. Cheers, mate. Big Sush, you ready to go? Yeah. All right, beautiful. All right, Big Sushi.
G'day, Tate.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yourself? G'day, Swoop. My question is, who's like the hardest player you've played on in your career?
Ooh, it's a good question. There's been a few. I remember playing on Gary Ablett early in my career when he was at the Gold Coast Suns, and thinking this man cannot be stopped. But guys like Patrick Dangerfield in that Fife, Joel Selwood, I've played against a lot of really good midfielders. Modern day players, Christian Petrarca and Marcus Bontempelli are two guys that are really hard to match up against. And actually, when I was at the Giants, Dane Swan was one. He kicked 6 goals against us and had 35 touches up at Giant Stadium one day. So I remember watching him run around and thinking, how does a man with that many tattoos and carrying a couple extra kilos do that?
Yeah, and just last question, what's like your best part of like playing AFL?
The best part? I think my favourite part is the day-to-day going to the club, all the banter that you have with the guys, going out and training and competing. I love training. If you ask anyone at the footy club, I'm a bit of a kid when it comes to training. I always just bounce around and always first out there, and just love being around the boys. So that's probably my favourite part about footy.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'll let someone else jump on.
No worries.
Thanks, Sue.
Thanks, Sue. Thanks, Kate. See ya.
All right, mate. doggies.
There's
from the
been so
bunch.
many comments in the chat about your dogs. Shay said her golden retriever says hi to your pups.
Charles, I'll see if you can get him in. Charles, here he comes. Come on, come here. Hello. Oh,
big boy. Anyone got questions for Charles? Just leave them in the comments and we'll try and get them.
He's actually had a bath today, so he smells good.
All right.
He's just a bit shy.
Camera
No,
shot. There's a good one here. Oh, here from Bitter Footy. He says, did you always have that sense of physicality when you started playing footy, or did it come with a few more games of like in the AFL senior footy?
Oh, I think it's always been part of my game. I don't know where it really come from. My old man played a bit of footy growing up and was always around a footy club, but I don't think he was the most physical player to ever play the game. So yeah, I'm not too sure where it come from. I guess I've always had that physicality, and I've really enjoyed that part of the game. I don't even realise that I don't even feel like I am overly physical when I play. It's just something that kind of happens, and I guess it's always been a part of my game.
You've probably heard, or not that you're checking socials all the time, but there's a lot of people that say that stand behind you that let you lead them through a wall. Like that's how much they love your physicality, that they're willing to get behind you, because the way you pull teams or pull our team by the scruff of the neck and kind of get us over the line. People were commenting about when you're talking about West Coast, that smother in that those dying 20 seconds or whatever it was to kind of get us over the line. That stuff is just so incredible to see,
Yeah, it's funny. Like as a player, you sort of, especially in the moment, you don't realise that that play or these moments that you speak of are all that influential. Like I've always been super competitive, and it used to drive my mum nuts at home. I had two brothers that we used to go out and play footy and basketball and cricket in the backyard, and most of the time it would end up in tears with with one of us losing and a couple of punch-ons. But it's always been, I guess, part of my DNA. I just hate losing, and I think that the really good teams have that strong competitive spirit. And those, as I said, those incidents you guys speak of, that's just me doing my thing for the team. And the way I see it is that if it was the next guy in my position, they would have made a similar play or the same play as what I did. And that's basically how I see it. I don't get too consumed by it. Just the way I play footy.
Oh, nice, man. Huss, you ready to go, dude? Beautiful. All right. Well, we didn't say how long we're going to go for, man, but you want to go? We'll have a few more, or whenever you're ready. We'll just grab Huss on now.
Hey guys. Hey
Huss?
Tay. Hey Luke.
Beautiful.
Hey Huss.
Obviously, there's a lot of work that goes into getting you guys onto the field and executing the game plan and everything. But just how important is the recovery and the period after the game to set yourselves up for the next few days, especially in the COVID era where games could be turned around so quickly? How important is recovery, I guess, and how does that routine look like?
Yeah, it's super important. The first 48 hours after a game, especially on like a shorter turnaround, is absolutely crucial. We always go back to the footy club and jump in the ice baths and hot pools. And we're lucky enough that we've got a chef that cooks for us after the game and puts on a good feed so that we can replenish what we've just expended during the game. So really crucial to to tip into those 1%ers and to make sure that you're sort of dotting every I, crossing every T, so that, as you said, if games are changed around, that you're able to back up on the shorter breaks and make sure you're able to train during the week, which is equally as important.
And also, obviously, you're a Nike athlete. How happy were you when Collingwood partnered with Nike?
Yeah, it's been great. Yep, absolutely loved it. It's a bit of a landmark deal that the club were able to land with Nike, and I obviously love being a part of the Nike family, and feel very blessed that I'm able to wear their stuff. Pretty awesome organisation and company. So I'm actually rocking the different boots at the moment, which has been good. I've changed over to the Vipers from the Tiempos, so liking the change up.
Easy. Thank you for that, guys. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, us.
Cheers, mate.
I just had someone in the comments, or a couple all in a row. Chris Main obviously announced his retirement at the end of the year. We love him from what he came through from that adversity when he started at the club to what he's been able to do now. Best 22. I think he laid 14 or 15 tackles in that grand final. He's just a Collingwood person through and through now. Are you able to just have a couple words about him, because we love him?
Yeah, and so does the playing group. I'm not sure if anyone caught Robert Harvey's the sentiment that he had when Matty announced his retirement. He's just that complete teammate that you just love playing with, and completely reliable. Obviously, the first year was really difficult for him. He had to work his backside off to make sure that he came back and was part of our team going forward. And he did the work with a lot of doubters, a lot of people bagging him. So that takes a lot of mental resilience. To put the work in physically, but he understands the game really well. Really caring guy. Obviously, had to change his position, but reliable. Absolutely love playing with him. One of my great mates at the football club. So it's so when he announced his retirement, I was a little bit surprised. Yeah. Can understand the circumstances that he's in, and that he wants to get back to Perth, but at the same time, I would have loved to have him around for another year or two.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Adam, you ready to go, dude? Yeah, beautiful.
Hi, Luke. Hi, Tay. Do you prefer to go out forward or in the midfield?
I like playing midfield the most. I'm not much of a forward, to be completely honest. My favorite position is starting in the centre. So don't back me for first goal tomorrow.
Yeah. Good luck, bro. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam. Cheers. Sean, you ready, mate, for a question? You good to go now? All right, beautiful.
Yeah, all good. I just had some technical difficulties, but we should be all right now.
No, all good, man.
Hey, Sean.
Hi, Tay. Probably my question is that is there anything that I guess it's obviously a very broad question, but is there anything that I guess surprises you while being in the AFL system, where because I've spoken to some of the kids and stuff, and they always talk about like diets and things like that. Has there been anything for you, like the fact that you've been like you're probably I think it's been about 8 years, I think, if I had to take a guess, in the system, something like that?
Yeah, I think this is my 9th year.
9th year, yeah. And so for someone that's been in the league for this long, has there been anything that has surprised you like so far in your journey, I guess?
Early days, definitely. I think that the big surprise, and something that we try to help our young guys understand, is just how hard you actually have to work to get the most out of yourself. That's something that I probably struggled with in my first couple of years. I didn't realize that there was so many things that you had to tick off. Your diet, your sleep, stretching routines, weights, making sure you do all your upper body weights or your lower leg weights. Returning to pre-season day one in really good shape, so that you can progress from there. Coming from as a young kid, straight out of school to an AFL system, there's a few things that shock me, but those physical things, the time trials and the big weight sessions and the extra swimming sessions and those sort of things, they're the real wake up calls for a young player, I think.
Yeah. And Yeah, and then I guess as well, like obviously as you mentioned, like how you were at like the Giants and stuff. How is it for and obviously we have players that are from out of state as well. Like I think Poulter's like from South Australia, and we like just off the top of my head, but we've got other guys from other states. How was it for you going up to the Giants and I guess being away in another state, being like an 18-year-old and being there for as many years as you were there? How was that? Sort of trying to adjust to that lifestyle, I guess, and being away from family.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult at the start. Missed my family, missed my mates back in. I actually grew up down in Torquay, so down the surf coast there, and it was a great experience. Though I was forced to grow up pretty quickly. Had a lot of support at the Giants. They did a great job in making all the young players feel welcome. I was lucky enough to be drafted with one of my best mates in Devon Smith, and we lived together for a couple of years, and which felt a bit like home. We've been best mates since we were 13 years old, so that made the transition a bit easier. And the fact that there was about 21 or 2 18-year-olds that went up at the same time. So moving away from home is never easy, but it's something that most of us do at some point in our life. So just to learn how to get through that was a great experience.
Yeah. No, sorry, just having a cat trying to have a special guest appearance at the moment. So,
all good, Sean.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else. One of the things, one of the questions I probably it's kind of a relay of what I asked Swoop probably about 2 weeks ago. Speaking of special guest appearances, again, just to I guess iterate on like one of the things I guess we've kind of been crying out for is like a key forward and then also as well even possibly just maybe someone that could probably play as a key back, and then just with I guess height playing a big factor when it's come to I don't know, just setting like a presence and like a in a lack of a better term, like a scary presence sort of thing. So similar to what Travis Clerk was for us. Do you feel that is that something that plays in, like as a player yourself, how you play on the field? Is that something where you feel that for oppositions, but then also you want to get it for like Collingwood as well, if that makes any sense?
I think that it's more of a, in terms of the intimidation factor, I think that's more of a team focus, and it's you guys probably see that from the stands and think that's one or two players, but as a player, I believe that comes from the team and the way that teams pressure and put other teams on the back foot. There's no better way to intimidate a team than scoring against them or stopping them from scoring. So having a player like Trav in his prime would be nice, but there's not too many of those guys floating around the AFL.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah. Also, just real quick, as I try and again get my special guest out of the way too. Again, just want to say thanks for when I think it was the Anzac Day weekend with the VFL. You were really nice to the kids and stuff that I had down there. So just want to say thank you for that, and you're really good. Did you end up following up with hockey at all with the banter?
What's that, mate?
Did you end up following up with the banter? Because one of my guys said he looked like Adam Treloar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't follow that one up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and it was Matt Spanger that was there too. Is he part of the coaches group? Yeah. One of the other kids was saying he looked like Brady Grundy, and I know he heard it because I could hear him laughing too. So that was good times. But
there are some similarities there.
Yeah, definitely. That's me done. All the best.
Thanks, Tony.
Well, hopefully you guys play well and all the best.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
All good.
Cheers. Bye.
All right, look, you've probably got 5 minutes left, mate.
Yeah, sweet, man. All right, quick. Yeah, too easy, man. All right, quick fire. Go, Lewis. Straight up. Go. Quick question. Let's go.
G'day, Tay, mate.
Mate.
Who's got the best gym strength at the club?
Best gym strength? Probably Brody Grundy. He's probably our he's probably the king of the gym. Big boy, obviously, he's got the height to go with it, so he's probably our leader at the moment.
Oh yeah. How about you, mate? What are you benching?
Not a lot at the moment. I think my max bench is about 130, which is nowhere near what Big Bros does.
Oh yeah. All right. Thanks, mate. Cheers, Luke.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate. See ya. All right, Blake, let's go. Quick fire.
G'day, Taylor. I just want to know
Hey,
if you
Blake.
get around any video games like AFL Evolution or anything like
Mate, I don't even have a PlayStation or an Xbox. I'm one of
jeez.
the only players at the club that doesn't have one. So I'm a bit boring, mate.
Cheers for the. Thank you.
Go on your butt.
No worries, mate. Magpie Army, let's go.
Hey, Tay, how you going?
Hey, mate.
Just a quick one on the injuries around the club. It's been a big factor over the last few years. So what do you think has been the problem there?
I have no idea.
So it's just basically hard luck.
No, well, that's not my area of expertise. That's for sure. No, our medical team does a great job. So at times we're very unlucky. We're not the only team that suffered injuries though. So, and we've been pretty stiff this year with some impact injuries that you sort of can't avoid, obviously, given that football is a physical game.
Yeah, and a super quick one. Tomorrow I'm planning on heating up some meat pies, watching the pies tomorrow. What's your go? What do you reckon about that? Is that 10 out of 10?
That's 10 out of 10, mate. Absolutely. Bit of tomato sauce on top, you're sweet.
Oh, absolutely. Cheers, Dave.
Thanks,
Cheers,
bud.
Cheers, mate.
We'll probably pack it up there. Obviously can't get to everyone in chat and on stream, but Tay, thank you for taking an hour out of your day, and especially before the game tomorrow. Really do appreciate it, especially during lockdown in Victoria and across Australia as well. But we just went into one. We all really do appreciate it, and just again a big thanks for jumping on with us, man.
No worries, mate, and thanks for having me on, and hope everyone's going well. Obviously, it's been a pretty tough time in most states around Australia lately, so stick together and be kind to each other, and go Pies tomorrow.
Go Pies. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Thank you. See ya.
See you, mate.